हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
प्रणाम प्रभु जी, माता जी, all glory Srila Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम संजय प्रभु, हरे कृष्ण। Okay, I think we can begin now. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। So I hope everyone is doing well. Today we are going to discuss from the 16th chapter of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Name of chapter is How Maharaj Parikshit Received the Age of Kali. Last week we discussed about from the chapter the Pandavas retired timely. We saw Arjuna came back with depressed And Maharaj Yudhishthira gave many reasons what can be the possible cause of Arjuna's lamentation, crying, losing the bodily luster, distress, depression. And Arjuna spoke directly that the Lord of my life, the Lord of our life, Sri Krishna has left the planet. And then he described how this happened, how they were cursed, the Yadus, because they tried to play with the sages, and how Lord arranged to go to Uddhava, and how just like a thorn is used to prick another thorn, likewise the Yadus, the Lord arranged in such a way that one Yadu was killed by another. And we discuss how they were considered as a burden of earth. Some of them were eternal associates of the Lord. They returned back to the spiritual abode, while some were the demigods. They resumed their original position. And then, being in great anxiety because of feeling acute separation from the Lord, suddenly Arjuna, he focused his attention towards the when Arjuna was thinking about the loving embraces like a friend, the intimate talks, when he was remembering his interaction with Krishna, Arjuna became further overwhelmed with lamentation. And then he suddenly diverted his attention to remember the instruction Krishna gave in Bhagavad Gita, that if you remember me, always remember me, and in this way you will come to me, in a way that you will never be separated from me. And that how Krishna is not different from his remembrance, from his name, from his activities, from his pastimes, everything about Krishna is transcendent. And then Arjuna became very much internal, and he just with single attention focused on remembering the Lord and remembering the instructions of the Lord. And suddenly his lamentation, depression, everything um, vanished, just like the birds on a tree fly away. Likewise, all those undesirable emotions, they just flew away from Arjuna's consciousness, and he was once again joyful. And when Maharaj Yudhishthira heard um, about Krishna's departure and Arjuna's absorption coming from the mouth of Arjuna, Maharaj Yudhishthira became determined to um, renounce, and with single pointed attention to focus on Mukunda, the giver of liberation. So he um, placed Parikshit Maharaj as the king of the planet Earth, and Mathura under Vajra, who was the grandson of Krishna, who was one of those who survived from the Yadu dynasty. And then he wore torn clothes. He acted like a deaf man, like cannot speak, cannot hear, like has nothing to do with his own mother or brother or wives or subjects. Um, if anybody is speaking, he would not hear anything, and he just left towards the north to fully focus on with one single pointed attention on the Lord. When Kunti, she saw, when she heard, she saw the state of Arjuna, saw the state of Yudhishthira Maharaj. She gained release from material existence. Initially, she prayed, "My dear Lord Keshava, please remove or cut off my ties to the Yadus and to the Vrishnis, or to my own family, my own sons, and let my single pointed attention flow only towards you, just like the Ganges has single goal, and that is to meet the ocean. And whatever obstacle comes, Ganges crosses over all the obstacles just to be with the ocean again. Likewise, let my attention flow only towards you. Let you be the sole object of my affection. Let my affection may not be diverted among Vrishnis and Yadus." And when in on this day, um, hearing how Krishna has actually departed, who was the Lord of her life, and Arjuna and Yudhishthira Maharaj renouncing, she gained the release from material ties, material existence, and with full attention, she was focusing on Mukunda. Um, all the brothers likewise followed the suit. They just followed Maharaj Yudhishthira one by one, not together. They just started walking, became internal, started walking, and so did Kunti, Uttara, and um, Draupadi. They all one by one left, and one by one, gradually, they were independently walking, not with any material relationships. This is my brother, this is my wife, this is my mother. But they all were individually. Just the journey of our jiva towards Krishna is an individual journey. Nobody can save us other than Mukunda, who awards liberation. That's why he's called by the name Mukunda, Murari, Keshava. And one by one, they gave up the demigod aspect in them because they add like Yudhishthira Maharaj has he is eternal associates of the Lord plus Yamaraj Ansh, and they combined as Yudhishthira. So they gave up the demigod aspect within them, and in the pure form they returned to the kingdom of the Lord to join him back um, in devotional service. And then this chapter is now the description of Maharaj Parikshit, because now Maharaj Parikshit has become the king, and all the um, fathers, mother, grandmother, everybody departed. So begins with how Maharaj Parikshit was the ideal king. When Parikshit Maharaj was born, Yudhishthir asked the saints, Garga Rishi and others, to describe about the future of the child. Like we discussed earlier, Srila Prabhupada says we can refer to astrology during the childbirth and during the marriage. So when Maharaj Yudhishthir invited the saints for the name-giving ceremony, then he asked the saints about what will be the future of our grandchild Parikshit, or our grandchildren. He was given the name Parikshit because he saw the Lord in the womb, and Pariksha means to examine, and he was examined throughout his life. He was examining everybody he would see. Is this the person I saw in the womb? No. Is this the person I saw in the womb? No. Is this the person I saw in the womb? No. Where is that person I saw in the womb? And because he was examining everybody he would meet throughout his life, he was named because that will be his nature. The sages know at the time of his birth, the sages gave him the name Parikshit, who will always be examining everybody if they are Narayan, or who is always searching for Krishna. And they spoke about great qualities of Maharaj Parikshit. He will be in archery, he will be like Arjuna. In strength, he will be like Rama. In fame, in control, in leadership, and in knowledge, various qualities are described in that chapter. So he ruled under the guidance of Brahmanas. And this is how the Vedic culture is always um, mm, established, is the king are always under guidance of Brahmana. Brahmanas are pure-hearted, without envy, without greed, without lust. They are knower of Vedic knowledge, and they give perfect. Now in this day and age, there are no qualified Brahmanas, but they would give perfect advice of what is good for the people. Brahmanas by default means those who are well-wishers, those who are selfless. Nowadays, Brahmanas are like they are trying to exploit the king, and they just want to live a comfortable life, and they don't care. Nobody has compassion. That's why that pure-hearted Brahmanas don't exist anymore. Uh, Brahmanas by default are full of compassion, selfless, pure-hearted soul. So Parikshit Maharaj, with all these qualities, he was the leader. He would rule under the guidance of Brahmanas. So all the actions of Kshatriyas becomes perfect in that way. Then there was a king. His name was Uttara. This is not his mother Uttara. Uttara was the name of his mother also, and Uttara was also, there was another king whose name was Uttara. He gave his daughter to Maharaj Parikshit in marriage. And daughter name was Iravati. She married to Maharaj Parikshit. Then through Iravati and Parikshit Maharaj, 4 sons were born. And one of the son was Janmejaya. Janmejaya also performed fierce sacrifice after Takshak killed Maharaj Parikshit. Then Janmejaya became very angry. And Janmejaya, he performed huge sacrifice with the help of sages to bring all the sages, all the snakes, including Takshak, to force them to enter the fire and die. He was very angry. He wanted to annihilate the whole snake race of all the snakes. Janmejaya, very powerful king. Then he became the king later on. But then he was stopped by the Devatas, by Brahma. That it was the plan of the Lord. Takshak was not at fault. It was just destined. This had to happen. So don't have enmity towards Takshak. He was just an external instrument. And then Janmejaya gave up his anger. So he was very powerful. So one of the son of Maharaj Parikshit and Iravati was Janmejaya. And then when he was assigned the post, then he performed 3 Ashwamedh Yagyas. Anybody who would become the king had to perform Ashwamedh Yagyas. Ashwamedh Yagya we discussed in the past, the horse goes everywhere. Because when a king is changed, then only like a king of planet Earth is one who is accepted by all other rulers of all other provinces, all other states. Everybody should accept that personality as our king. Then only he can be called as the king of the whole Earth planet, the whole world. So he performed, and another reason for Ashwamedh Yagya is all the sins from the kingdom are um, are removed, and it is purifying for the whole kingdom. So we see Maharaj Yudhishthira perform 4 Ashwamedh Yagyas, and we see when Parikshit Maharaj, so he also performed 3 Ashwamedh Yagyas. He gave huge charity to the Brahmanas. Then he accepted Kripacharya as his guru. Kripacharya is one of the teachers of Pandavas also. He participated in Mahabharat war, and he is one of those few members who remained alive after the Mahabharat war. One of them is Kripacharya. So Parikshit Maharaj, he accepted Kripacharya as his guru. Under Kripacharya's guidance, he performed 3 Ashwamedh Yagyas, and his yagyas gave huge charity. And his yagyas were so powerful that even the demigods came to observe and bless Maharaj Parikshit. And then he also chastised Kali. Kali has already infiltrated, and when Maharaj Parikshit found out that Kali has infiltrated the consciousness of all the citizens, Maharaj Parikshit became angry. And Maharaj Parikshit, Kali was a Shudra, basically dressed as a king. And he was hurting the legs of the bull and a cow. And we will discuss about the bull and a cow today. And Maharaj Parikshit meeting with Kali, we will discuss next week in chapter 17. Today there will be mainly a discussion of a bull and a cow. And we will discuss and we will see who the bull was and who the cow was and what the discussion was. So he was the one who chastised Kali. As soon as, this is Sutta Goswami speaking, as soon as Sonak Rishi heard about he chastised Kali, Sonak Rishi became inquisitive, and he asked a question to Sutta Goswami. He says, why did Parikshit only punish him? Why didn't he just kill him? And then Sonakrishi said, if this question relate to Krishna Katha, Yadi Krishna Katha Shraya, if it is related to Krishna Katha, then please explain to me why he did not kill, because Kali is the one who is destroying the spiritual life of everybody in this age of and there's the age of Kali, and everyone is degrading more and more and more. So when Parikshit Maharaj had the strength, then why did he just ripped him off and killed him? Why he only punished him? And another thing is, a devotee of the Lord, although they may have many, I mean, we are always inquisitive. A devotee of the Lord is not interested to hear about the topics which are not related to Krishna. And we see Sonak Rishi, after asking this question, he did not say, no, please answer. He says, Yadi Krishna Katha Shray. If this topic relates to Krishna, to topics of Krishna, then please describe why he did not. Because he didn't want to go into the personal life of Kali, or he just wanted to know the Krishna aspect. And Bhagavatam is all about Krishna and his pure devotees. Then Sonak Rishi says that the devotees are always accustomed to taste the honey from the lotus feet of the Lord. Um, um, what is the point of hearing any topic other than that which relates to Krishna, as that is a waste of valuable human form of life. Human form of life is very valuable. Um, why waste this human form of life in hearing and discussing topics which are not related to Krishna? That's why if my question pertains to Krishna, then only answer this. And um, the devotee is a Paramhamsa, Swam. He is interested in real substance. There is in fifth chapter of Bhagavatam, there is a comparison of a crow. A crow is always going to the filthy places, and a swan, they um, take nectar, the hamsa. They take nectar from the roses, even amidst filthy places. But the crow is interested in garbage. Um, so likewise, those whose consciousness are not blossomed, they are interested in all the material topics. But those who are devotees, they are interested only in hearing about the Lord and the pure devotees of the Lord. And then Sonak Rishi says that these topics that relate to Krishna are like Amrit. What is the purpose of Amrit? Amrit makes one deathless. It is referred by the name Hari Leela Amritam. Leela Amritam. Or anybody, Amrit means when you drink the Amrit, no death for you. Or when you drink the topics about Krishna, no samsar for you. No cycle of birth and death for you. This will act like an Amrit. And then Sonakasi further described that even Yamaraj is a pure devotee of the Lord. And he says that anybody who is hearing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, Yamaraj also personally comes and participates. And if you invite Yamaraj, then as long as Yamaraj is there, there will be no death for you. And if you continue hearing about the Lord, Yamaraj will have no influence on you. Yamaraj is described as, he has no concession. Even if the person is about to attain, say, Prabhupada give an example in the purport about a scientific experiment, or the scientists who are trying to make the life eternal. Even they also, during the experiment, also they die. When the time is up, time is up. You can be at the finish of almost at the finish of what you really want to achieve in this material world, and when the time is done, death will come. Death won't wait for Yamaraj is not attached. Oh, he has worked so hard in throughout his life to attain this. Now he is about to attain, and now let me give him 1 more month, or let him finish this task. Yamaraj doesn't wait for anybody. He's detached. People are engaged or absorbed in activities, material activities in this universe. Whenever the time of death comes, Yamraj suddenly picks that person and brings to his abode. He is not attached to the people's view and opinion and their own attachments. No material compassion. In that way, he is considered as cruel because no material compassion. It is his duty. Time up. You have to go, sir. There is nothing that can keep you here anymore, not even a breath more. But if Yamraj himself comes and joins us when we discuss Harikatha, then who can take us? Because he is the one who takes, but when Harikatha is going on, he will come and listen. Then who will take us? So the sages are saying that we don't want to do anything other than hearing Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha is like Hari Leela Amrita. It will make us eternal. Then Sonak Rishi, he says, see, first of all, people are the human form of life is very short-lived. Now, as the Kali is there, how long do we live? He says, Alpa Ayushu. Very short life people have. And people are very lazy. People are very lazy and they are less intelligent. And because they are very lazy, and what Prabhupada says, what are they lazy for? People are lazy for spiritual development. They are not interested in self-realization, but they are very much interested in sense gratification, but they're not interested in self-realization. Prabhupada says why they are wasting a human form of life, because everything in this world is centered around sense gratification. They go to malls centered on sense gratification, restaurants, sense gratification, or whatever, wherever they go, they to see the beaches and different places, whatever they are doing, they are very much interested in sense gratification. And because of that, they are very much lazy in self-realization. And they have very short-lived, and that also they waste. Sonakrishi says they waste sleeping in the night and useless activities in the day. In the day, why the activities are useless? Because throughout the day they are trying to enjoy. Throughout the day they are trying to get some sense gratification. And in the night, sleep and sex. Prabhupada says in the purport. And that's how the human life is getting wasted. And they're less intelligent because they're not able to see, they're not able to use their real intelligence. What is the purpose? It's like a rat race. Everyone is just simply absorbed. So Sonak Rishi says we don't want to be in that race. We want to hear about, we want to drink the nectar of Harikatha. And we don't want to waste our time in anything which is not connected to Krishna. Where we don't know when the last breath will come, we don't know how much time we have. After a long time, we have got this valuable human form of life. Now, having attained it, we don't want to waste. Prabhupada says every life, we have millions of life, every life we are engaged in materialistic activities. So now we have attained human form of life and we have got this knowledge. Now we want to be serious in this life by discussing topics which pertains to Leela Amrita, the Amrit of Harikatha. Then Sutta Goswami becomes very pleased. Sutta Goswami, then he starts describing about the question, because the question pertains to Krishna, which is why he didn't kill Kali, why he only punished. Then Sutta Goswami says that Parikshit Maharaj, and then he starts from there. First, he describes about his marriage, his sons, his Ashwamedh Yagyas, his qualities of Maharaj Parikshit. Now he says that as he was ruling the kingdom, he heard the news and he witnessed, he noticed that how Kali has entered the kingdom with his inauspicious effect. The whole kingdom, everybody was affected. The whole environment became inauspicious. Parikshit Maharaj became very angry. He took his bow and he prepared himself to fight. Then he took a troop, a set of soldiers, like an army, and Maharaj Parikshit sat on his chariot, fully decorated chariot with a troop of army, and he left the kingdom to conquer all the directions. And as he was going the different part of earthly planet, he don't know where to find Kali. He just went to conquer everybody. And all the kings, they some of envious kings, they again declared a fight against Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit defeated them, and then they paid tributes or wealth or riches or prizes or as an act of surrender to Maharaj Parikshit power, Maharaj Parikshit empowerment. So he conquered again, once again, he himself conquered the entire Earth planet. He was in an angry mood and he wanted to meet Kali and he wanted to kill Kali. And as he was walking, he saw there were many pious kings he met on the way, and there were many impious. Impious, he defeated them, and then they surrendered to Maharaj Parikshit. When the pious people, when he was walking by, Maharaj Parikshit heard, um, and the pious people, Maharaj Parikshit heard like he just walking unnoticed, and people would speak, pious people, and the Brahmanas they would sing, and their song was the glory of Pandavas and the glory of Krishna and the devotion of Pandavas, single pointed devotion of Pandavas to Krishna, and how Krishna saved them from all the dangers, and how even our king, our current king, was also saved by Krishna's affection. When Ashwadhama released Brahmastra, our king was saved by the mercy of Krishna. And how merciful was Krishna to this entire dynasty of Pandavas. And how Krishna and how Krishna has such love for the Pandavas that he acted as their friend. He being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda, the giver of liberation, and everyone is part and parcel, and how he dealt with Pandava just like their friend. He acted as a messenger for Pandavas. Acted as messenger for Pandavas. Just before the fight, Krishna went as a duti to Duryodhana, telling just give 5 villages to Pandavas and stop the war, stop the killing. He accepted the position of a presidency when Maharaj Yudhishthira performed the Rajasuya sacrifice. Then somebody was given a high seat in the sacrifice, like a leader of the sacrifice, and unanimously everybody chose Krishna as the leader of everybody, and Krishna humbly accepted that role. And that's when the Shishupal became envious, and he charged Krishna with over 100 infamous words, and then Krishna killed Shishupal in that assembly. So he acted as a president, as a presidency, accepted the role of a presidency during the yagya, Ashwamedh yagya, acted as messenger, Duti, acted as Nasakya Bhav as a friend, became a chariot driver out of affection for his own devotee Pandava. He became a watchman when the 14 days of Mahabharata war was going on. Krishna, when both the parties would make plan for the next day, Krishna would stand with a sword outside the army and will be whole night, will be like a watchman for the Pandavas. And how Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ruler of all, would bow down and pay obeisances to the Pandavas, to especially Maharaj Yudhishthir, to Kunti, and whatever Kunti, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Vidura, whatever they would say, Krishna would follow as an obedient servant. And they would glorify, as Maharaj Parikshit was walking by, some pious people would glorify Krishna and Krishna's unlimited affection towards Pandavas. And that really pleased Maharaj Parikshit. And Maharaj Parikshit, he called them and he said, I am the king and I give you unlimited amount of wealth and riches. And he awarded them with clothing, with ornaments and many things. So there is this description of the how Maharaj Parikshit with his troop, how he is going by. Some were envious, some were simple Brahmanas, unnoticed, and not noticing Maharaj Parikshit, they would just glorify him. Maharaj Parikshit overheard and he awarded them. And as he was doing this tour on the earth planet, suddenly he came on a bank of Saraswati. And on the bank of Saraswati, there is a description of there was a cow and there was a bull. and the personality of Dharma, he took the form of a bull, and bull was standing on one leg, and the cow, Mother Earth, took the form of a cow, and this cow had lost her bodily luster and was full of tears, like looking very dull, and was constantly crying. And this bull, who was standing on one leg, struggling, somehow came with one leg close to the cow and asked the cow, and the bull is suffering actually because Dharma is suffering in this age of Kali. Very hold to uphold Dharma here. So bull is struggling and the cow is crying and the cow has lost her bodily luster. This is basically a conversation between Dharmaraj, the personification of Dharma, and uh, and Mother Earth in the form of a cow. So um, this bull standing on one leg with great struggle is expressed because this is Dharma. Dharma means always for others. So became very compassionate to see the tears of mother cow, and he asked her, Mother cow, are you healthy? I mean, see the state of Dharmaraj. And Dharma is standing on one leg, all three legs are broken, and he's asking the cow, are you healthy? Your face appears dark with grief. What is the cause of your lamentation? And just like how Arjuna, when he saw how Yudhishthira, when he saw Arjuna depressed and full with lamentation, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Arjuna, what is the cause of your lamentation? Were you not able to protect a old man or a deserving woman? Were you not able to fulfill your promise? Were you not able to give charity to the Brahmanas? Were you? And many reasons, 10 reasons he asked. And likewise, Bull, who is Dharma, Dharma knows everything. So this is the personification of Dharma. So he is asking cow, what is the cause of your lamentation? You have become very, you have lost your bodily luster, and you have become even dark, and you appear dark because of grief. Now, cows are usually white, or blue cows are there. But this particular cow has become very dark. Black cows are also there, but this has become very dark, um, um, with grief and tears in her eyes. So Dharmaraj asks, are you lamenting for a friend in a distant land? Your friend is not healthy somewhere else. Is that the cause of your lamentation? Are you lamenting looking at me, that that I am standing on one leg? Are you lamenting because of me? Or are you lamenting because you are being exploited by meat eaters who are killing your whole class, who are killing all of your brothers and sisters, which are like cows and bulls? Are you lamenting seeing the situation of this world, how they're exploiting because of their meat eating habit? Or are you lamenting for the demigods who are now bereft of sacrificial offering? Because when Kali Yuga comes, nobody performs any yajna. And the demigods are also suffering because they are now bereft of any sacrificial offerings. Are you lamenting for demigods? Are you lamenting because of me? Are you lamenting because of a friend of yours in a distant place? Are you remember because your whole class is getting slaughtered? Or are you lamenting to see all the human beings who are being affected because of famine and drought? After Krishna left, Kali came. Now there is famine and there is drought. So when Krishna was there, full opulence was there. When Krishna departed, no rains, no food, and all entire human race was suffering because of famine and drought. So are you lamenting, seeing the suffering of the humans, of the demigods, of yourself, of me, of a distant friend? Or are you lamenting, seeing the suffering of the women and children whose husbands have died, or they have become so sinful? Either they have died or pious, or unpious, they have become so sinful that they have children without even marriage ties, illicit relationships, and those children are also degraded. And those men who use these women, they have left because they are unloyal people. They enjoyed and they left. And these women and children are left uncared for. Nobody cares for them. Are you lamenting seeing their state? This also shows that how the Kali had deeply infiltrated. And why are you lamenting? And the cow is crying, and the bull itself is struggling, standing on one leg. So, are you unhappy? Are you lamenting because of the women and children who have been left by unscrupulous persons or sinful persons? Or are you lamenting by seeing how the Brahmanas are misusing, how the Brahmanas are handling the goddess of learning Saraswati? Because now Brahmanas have become very corrupt, and they are using their knowledge only for their own sense gratification. Now, the purpose of a king is to protect, but now those who become the king, except where there are very good kings now, also good leaders are there, like Narendra Modi is a great personality. But generally speaking, the kings or the rulers, they are only thinking how to make a good bank balance, how to maintain their position, and they are too attached. And these brahmanas who are serving the king, they're just thinking, what will I get, or how can I extract the maximum from the king? How can I get the maximum benefit before the king changes? So people are, these brahmanas, so-called current age brahmanas, they are using their learning, they're exploiting their knowledge, not for the welfare of the people, but for to fulfill their own sinful habits and demands, or fulfill their own greed. So, what are you lamenting? Are you lamenting because of the disorder created by so-called administrators? The kings, they are I mean, Maharaj Parikshit is the best king, but there are many sinful administrators who themselves are the cause of disturbance. The leaders, if the leaders are not pure, then um, um, mm, then they would use their position for their own personal benefits, and so they are they will that will create disorder because of the um, impure leaders. Are you lamenting because of that? Are you lamenting because people are only engaged in eating, sleeping, and mating without restrictions and have become very degraded? And finally, after giving many reasons, because dharma is speaking about dharma or bull is giving various reasons why you are lamenting, because everywhere dharma is broken, everybody is degrading, there is loss of uh, pure life, dharmic life. And wherever there is a loss, dharma is saying various reasons. For the brahmanas, for the humans, unscrupulous people, demigods, everybody is at loss because nobody is following dharma. And various reasons after giving, then the bull, he asked how, or are you lamenting because the the Lord of your life has left because of his presence? And then he says, I cannot think of any other reason why you are lamenting. You are probably remembering his pastimes, and you are lamenting because you cannot see the Lord anymore. You are lamenting because of separation from him. Um, and then after then, that was a discussion between the bull and the cow, or Dharma and Mother Earth. Then Mother Earth respond with the reason why she is lamenting. And then she tells the bull, she says, you were also once on four legs, and now you are standing on one leg. So Mother Cow is saying, it's a little technical chapter because it's a discussion of dharma. So you were also on four legs because Dharma has four legs. There is compassion, there is mercy, there is truthfulness. And what is the fourth one? Cleanliness. These are the four legs of Dharma, and all three are broken in Kali Yuga, and only the fourth leg, which is truthfulness, is remaining. Cleanliness is gone, mercy is gone. Um, Truthfulness is the only one remaining. Austerity is gone. And you were at one point of time, you were standing on four legs, and where Dharma, Rakshati, Rakshata, whoever protects Dharma, Dharma protects them. Whoever follows Dharma will be happy. But people are not following Dharma now. So at one point of time, you were standing on four legs. Especially when Krishna was there, Dharma was established fully. Adharma was gone. And then during Satya Yuga, in the beginning of Satya Yuga, Dharma was again standing on four legs. During Lord Ram's time, Dharma was standing on four legs. So there are certain time instances or in the beginning of Satya Yuga. So then people were increasing the happiness of the whole world. The whole world will be happy when everybody follows Dharma. But now see, you are also standing on one leg. And then he says that the Lord is, then Mother Cow says that the Lord um, who was endowed with uh, transcendental qualities. Um, mm, he has ended his earthly pastimes. Um, and as soon as he ended his earthly pastimes, Kali has exerted his influence. And I am very sorry to see, and I am very sad to see how Kali is degrading after Krishna's departure. When Krishna was there, Kali could not enter. And when Krishna just departed, same day Kali entered. And although Kali entered, it took many years for Kali to exert a global influence. Maharaj Yudhishthir saw only some signs of Kali. Maharaj Yudhishthir ruled for 36 years. And then um, Parikshit Maharaj took over and he was ruling for some years. And by now, Kali has infiltrated everywhere. And Mother Cow is lamenting to see how Kali has exerted his influence everywhere. So Mother Cow says, I am lamenting for all the reasons that you gave. I am lamenting for my own state as Mother Earth. Mother Earth was deprived of all the opulences after Krishna left. I am lamenting to see you standing on one leg. I am lamenting to see how demigods are not getting sacrificial offerings. I am lamenting to see how sages, they are not valued. Nobody is willing to listen to them. How Pitras, they are suffering because of the influence of Kali. They are engaged in sinful activities, and also um, people of this place are no more offering pindas to them, and their suffering continues. So I'm lamenting to see their condition. I'm lamenting to see the condition of all the devotees and followers of Varnashrama who are constantly being pulled down by this age of Kali, and how struggle it is for them to remember the Lord. So I'm lamenting for everything that you have described. Goddess of fortune, she, when the Lord was there, Goddess of fortune was there with the Lord, because she is the wife of Krishna. That's why Krishna is called Madhava. And Krishna was there. There was opulence everywhere. And when Krishna left, she also left. Her grace was sought by all the demigods, including Brahma. And now, when Krishna departed, she also left to Krishna's abode to serve the lotus feet of Krishna, because although she's chanchal by nature, she doesn't stay at one place, but she's so much attached to lotus feet of Krishna that she goes wherever Krishna goes. And because Krishna has left all of us, she has left. And now Mother Earth, the demigods, the humans, the sages, the Brahmanas, um, all the animals, everybody, including myself, Mother Earth, we have become very, very unfortunate after Krishna's departure. When the Lord was there, I was like Krishna's footprints, Krishna's lotus feet. has the signs of thunderbolt. There is sign of flag, lotus. God is what is used to capture an elephant. So there are many signs that lotus feet of Krishna has. So when Krishna was there, my body was decorated with the footprints of Lord Krishna. And because of Krishna's presence, um, Mother Earth, even like Prabhupada gives in the purport, the mines, the oceans, the rivers, the vegetation, the produce, everything was sufficient. And Mother Earth opulence surpassed even the higher planets and the lower planets. And Mother Earth was the most fortunate because of the presence of Krishna on Mother Earth. And after Krishna has left, I have become greatly unfortunate. Um, Dharma was very happy. Mother Earth was very happy. Everything was glorious. Kali was not there. And after the Lord has left, see now you are again standing on one leg. I am greatly, I am greatly, everybody is greatly overburdened. When he was there, he relieved both you and me. You were standing on one leg before, and now when he came, he gave you strength. He established Dharma by speaking of Bhagavad Gita, established Dharma. So you were strengthened by his presence. And I was overburdened by these atheistic kings who were exploiting my resources. And I was relieved from all such atheistic kings, and you were strengthened. He relieved when he was there. He relieved you from your suffering. He relieved me from my suffering. And now he has left. And now we are again, and now we both are again suffering. Who could tolerate the separation from him? Um, mm, when he was there, even he would he was full of beauty. He broke the gravity and the anger of Satyabhama, the passionate. Sometimes Satyabhama was very grave, and sometimes she would become angry out of love. And Krishna would, with his sweet smiles, with his affectionate glances, with his loving heart, he would melt the gravity and the anger of Satyabhama. Um, he gave joy to everybody who was there on the planet. But after when he was there, he would, he never left me when he was there. Sri Prabhupada writes in the purport, the Lord was Satyabhama at some point of time. Another point of time, he was with Pandavas. Another point of time, he would go back to Mathura and Vrindavan. So many devotees were feeling separation from Krishna when Krishna was there on the planet. But Mother Earth never experienced any separation, because wherever Krishna was going, Krishna was always in touch with Mother Earth because he would walk on her surface. And when Krishna was there, Mother Earth was always in ecstasy. And the hairs of Mother Earth would stand erect in the form of grass, like the hair of Mother Earth. In ecstasy, they would stand erect. And I derived so much love and affection and joy and ecstasy from his touch. And now he has left me, and Kali has entered. And now see what is the situation of this place. And as the bull and cow, Dharma and Mother Earth were interacting in this way, then Maharaj Parikshit entered. This interaction was happening on the bank of Mother Saraswati. And when he entered, then that's where the chapter ends. So summary, it's Maharaj Parikshit, his great qualities, his how he ruled, how he got married, how he performed Ashwamedha Yagya, how his four children, uh, led by Janmajaya, how he heard about Kali and how he was fearless. He went out, he subdued the envious kings. He heard the glories of Pandavas and Krishna on the way. He sufficiently gave them, awarded them with gifts, um, ornaments, and clothings. And then, as he was walking by, there was on the bank of Mother Saraswati, there was a bull and a cow, which is Dharma and Mother Earth. Dharma was standing on one leg. Dharma was in stress condition. Mother cow was lamenting and had become dark with grief. Dharma asked many questions. Why are you suffering? Are you suffering because of me, because of you, because of slaughtering, because of unprotected women and children, because of demigods, because of sages, because Brahmanas have lost their purity? What is the cause of your suffering? And Mother Earth, she says the cause of suffering is Krishna has left and Krishna has departed. And because Krishna has departed, all that you are saying is also the cause of my suffering. And then Mother Earth remembers the time when Krishna was there. When Krishna was there, how she was so joyful. She was decorated. Her ornaments was the footprints. She would roll in the dust of Krishna's lotus feet. She was in ecstasy. Krishna, she was greatly opulent compared to all the three planetary system, higher planets and lower planets. And how after she left, see what has happened. Now there are no sweet, affectionate glances or smiling faces, and how Krishna was um, the reservoir of transcendental qualities. And she also describes the qualities, various qualities of Krishna. And now, because Krishna has left us, all that you have said has become true, and that is the cause of my lamentation. And as this was happening, Maharaj Parikshit made an entrance. Okay, I was thinking today to read one verse, one small verse, and then we will see. This is about the age of Kali and how to gain freedom from the age of Kali. We'll read the translation purport. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, whose glance of grace was sought by demigods like Brahma, like even Brahma and demigods were looking for the grace of Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and for whom they surrendered many a day onto the personality of Godhead, gave up her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers, and engaged herself in the service of lotus feet of the Lord. In other words, we have become unfortunate. Goddess of fortune, she was there when Krishna was there. When Krishna has departed, all the fortune is gone. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated with the impressions of flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus flower, which are the signs of lotus feet of the Lord. But at the end, when I felt I was so fortunate, the Lord left me. And Mother Earth is saying that when he was there, I was decorated with the footprints, the prints from the lotus feet of the Lord. I became more opulent in all the three planetary system. But as I was feeling that I am the most fortunate, because Krishna was on my surface, was on my body, he was walking. Krishna was with me. I became the most fortunate. And as I felt that, see, I'm so fortunate, Krishna is walking on my planet, Krishna left me. This is how pride plays a role also. The moment we realize that I have attained Krishna, Krishna leaves us. Purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The opulence, the beauty and opulence of the word can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord and not by any man-made planning. So Prabhupada says, the beauty and opulence of the word can be enhanced by the grace of the Lord. Now people are trying to become opulent. They're trying to make the whole world beautiful. They are trying with a man-made planning. But they won't be successful. But when Krishna was there was real opulence. There was real beauty. And now people are trying to get that. Mm, when the Lord is there, the beauty and opulence can be enhanced and not by man-made planning. When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the impressions of the special signs of his lotus feet were stamped on the dust. Like when he would walk, because he had these footprints, all the signs would be visible on the earth, on the dust. His lotus feet were stamped on the dust, just like a stamp. We put the stamp and we get an impression like an ink. Likewise, there are footprints. When he would walk, he would stamp Mother Earth with all these signs on his lotus feet. And as a result of this specific grace, the whole earth was made as perfect as possible. In other words, the rivers, the seas, the forests, the hills, and the mines, which are the supplying agents for the necessities of men and animals, were fully discharging their respective duties. The mines would give ornaments, diamonds from the ocean, the river, the forest, the hills, whatever they would supply, fully they were discharging their respective duties and supplying for the needs of all the humans. Therefore, the riches of the world surpassed all the riches of other planets in the three planetary system of the universe. One should therefore ask that the grace of the Lord always be present on earth, so that we may be favored by his causeless mercy and be happy, having all necessities of life. One may ask how we can detain the Supreme Lord on this earth. Now Krishna has left. So this is important. Prabhupada says, how can we detain the Supreme Lord on this earth after his mission is fulfilled and he has left this earth for his own abode? Now Krishna has left physically. So how can we keep him here after he has departed from to his own abode? The answer is that there is no need to detain the Lord. The Lord, being omnipresent, can be present with us if we want him at all. So Prabhupada is telling the Lord has not left all of us. The Lord is omnipresent. The Lord is everywhere and he's still there with us if we want. He may not be visible to our material eyes, but because he's omnipresent, he's still there with us. By his omnipresence, he can always be with us if we are attracted to his devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. If we are hearing, chanting, and remembering, he is always there for those, and they will have no problems in life. Others who are actually bereft and they are not with the Lord by hearing chanting, they will have the effects of Kali. There is nothing in the world with which the Lord is disconnected. Or Prabhupada says everything is connected to the Lord. The only thing we must learn is to excavate the source of connection and thus be linked with him by offenseless service. If we render service to him, devotional service, without offenses, selflessly, then devotional service is a way we link with him. He is never lost to us, nor are we never lost to him, if we know the art of linking with him by the process of selfless, offenseless devotional service. We can be connected with him by the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. Kali Kale Nam Rupe Krishnavata. The Lord has descended in the form of his holy name. We can be connected with him by the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. Abhinnatvam nama namina. Nam and namina, the name and the owner of the name. Abhinna. Bhinna means different. Abhinna means there is no difference between the name and the owner of the name. Or the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. One who chants the holy name of the Lord in an offenseless manner can at once realize that the Lord is present before him. Prabhupada says, holy name is so powerful. Holy name is Krishna. By holy name, you can bring the Lord in front of you. By holy name, you can realize him present before you. And it is just an art. It is just we need to understand how to link with him through offenseless, through selfless devotional service, which primary elements are hearing and chanting, and how the Lord has is not different from his name, and how through his name we can experience him in front of us. Even by the vibration of radio sound, we can partially realize sound relativity. And by resounding the sound of transcendence, we can verily feel the presence of the Lord. Just like radio, something is happening, it's directly casting from there. Somebody speaking and we are listening, direct cast, live. Likewise, and we can feel that. Likewise, the Lord's holy name, when we invoke the holy name of the Lord, we can directly experience the Lord. We can feel the presence of the Lord through His holy name. In this age, when everything is polluted by the contamination of Kali, it is instructed in the scriptures and preached by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Harinam, we can at once be free from contamination and gradually rise to the status of transcendence and go back to Godhead. Yes, this is the age of Kali. Everything is degraded. All the reasons that Dharma spoke to cow are valid. Everyone is bereft of their good fortune after Krishna has departed, but we still have the way to link with him by a proper means. The offenseless chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. And the movement of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the Lord. The whole world can again become happy, just like the Lord was very auspicious. When the Lord was there, everybody was happy. Now the Lord and the pure devotees of the Lord, the pure devotees of the Lord can invoke the same auspiciousness. And when the pure devotee of the Lord walk on the world, they can change the troublesome face of the world. The world has become very troublesome because of the absence of the Lord, but that can be compensated by the walk of the pure devotees of the Lord. When Srila Prabhupada would walk on the planet, when the pure devotees, when we come in contact with the pure devotees of the Lord, they are Sakshad Haritva, they exhibit the same qualities as the Lord. And they can invoke the same auspiciousness. They can relieve us from the same effects of Kali, the same joy and transcendental pleasure we can experience when the pure devotees of the Lord who carry the same auspiciousness because of their pure devotion to Krishna, they can change the troublesome face of the Lord. And this age is called the golden age in Kali Yuga. Golden age, the 10,000 years of Lord Chaitanya. The word will again, in every town and village, the holy name will go, and the consciousness of the people in this age of Kali will again rise, and people will again become perfected souls. But then, after 10,000 years, when Govardhan and Yamuna would disappear, then Kali will show his real face. Only by propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we be immune from all effects of the age of Kali. Natap iti Shodakshanam Namnam Kali Kalmashunasanam. The 16 names of the Lord can destroy the effect of age of Kali. And that's how Srila Prabhupada ends with, on a positive note, how to counteract this age of Kali. So that's all we have for today. If there are any discussion, we can take now. Any questions? Okay. Thank you all very much for joining. We will be resuming the 17th chapter of the discussion between Maharaj Parikshit and Kali. And next week, my obeisances to all of you. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. Vanchakalpatarubhesha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. That was the Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji, thank you so
Dandavad
much so much.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Prabhuji Mataji, Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam.